Here's Brody Brazil.
Have you found that during this project and this process, that when you talk to people, you are educating them as much as informing them on what's going on? Because this is so complex. This is so difficult to understand. People first off think that taxpayer money is going to Howard Terminal, or if you live in Oakland, your taxes are going up for this. But as you mentioned before, the taxes are only generated by what the project can increase the value of. And even the revenue on the site, I've heard upwards of $10 million a year of property tax, and it's only generating about $75,000 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do a lot of education. I want people to have the correct information in this campaign cycle, not about this topic per se. There are some confusion about this topic, but just as I'm on the campaign trail, there's so much disinformation out there about everything, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I think the thing that people get confused about is like, well, all of this money that we're getting, we have so many other streets that could actually be paved, and you should do that first. And so I have to remind people that these monies are actually dedicated for Howard Terminal infrastructure improvement. And if we didn't have Howard Terminal, we would have to give it back. And so it's not like we would have it anyway to spend how we would like to spend it. We wouldn't have those money if it weren't for Howard Terminal, because, the lobbying for those funds or what have you. And so that's the part that has been a little confusing for folks, but I do educate people because I want people to understand, what's really happening on the ground. And not just that, but to then take a step back to reassess if they have to see how they feel about the project. Because I do, I really care about how people are feeling on the ground in regards to whether or not they feel like we should move forward with Howard Terminal.
The analogy I use on that one is like, it's a college scholarship and it's going to pay for your schooling. You don't get that money to go buy a new car with, or like, and that's what you're saying, right? People are wondering, well, how are you getting this money to do this? Well, if Oakland doesn't get it, then Baltimore or Seattle or Long Beach gets it, right? Like, why wouldn't you put yourself out there for these funds?
Yeah.
So.
These are line items, budget items. And so it's not, you just can't shift it around and say, we're going to use it to do something else with.